Hey everyone, Justin Waldron, J&L Woodworks in Dameron, Maryland. I want to say thank you to the subscribers, the comments, and the likes on my videos. I know that I haven't posted any new content in quite a while. Been busy in the shop, and then also have been busy designing work holding solutions for the CNC. So I'd like to get into that for a little bit. I have a fixture plate in front of me. I'll go into depth on this in another video using the dovetail system that I'm sure everyone has seen online that companies sell. So I'll go through how I made this on the CNC, also how I register this on the CNC. I had a few smaller projects and I needed some form of repeatability and I was struggling. So here's where I get into this rabbit hole. So to start off with these clamps and guides that I have, they're all made from PLA that's infused with carbon fiber, or the new ones I have coming out now, I've switched over to PETG with carbon fiber, but nonetheless, super durable. The corner clamps that I have, this is the start of the repeatability. It was important that I had a registration point to be able to mount a guide to my fixture plate, and I know that it's going to run completely true with my X and Y axis. And before I go any further too, I will show the use for each one of these clamps and everything in a little more detail. But basically with the corner clamp, I cut this on the CNC, everything lines up. I have a little bit of play in the corner clamps, so it's easy enough to use your X-axis, Y-axis to get this clamp perfect where you need it to be every time. So in conjunction with the corner clamps, I have these low profile guides that can be used as another reference point depending on how large or long your project is. So that'll give you your repeatability to start with over and over again, especially with two-sided machining, or if you're going to be working on a few projects at the same time. In and out, your X and Y home positions all stay the same. So the next thing I'll get into are the cam clamps. You know, we've all seen these cam clamps floating around. The challenge I've had with making my own cam clamps out of wood is that they start to compress over time. So wanted to make sure that I had a few of these that I could offer. I also have this cam clamp here that's pretty neat. I call this the Sidewinder. This is low profile too. So the Sidewinder just simply attaches to your spoil board, your fixture plate, and just a little twist, and it adds some more securement there. It's not a complete round circle, it's oblong, more of like an oval. The center hub on these cam clamps are drafted at 3 degrees, so they snap in, and as they snap in, they compress the clamp, so it completely secures that to your fixture plate. The next thing are the slab clamps that I offer. Do quite a bit of slab flattening. I didn't like the idea of some of the slab clamp options that are out there with metal protruding over top of the slab. So I came up with these. These are a low profile. They're 3/4, 7/8 with a 1/4 inch machine screw. And the steel knife is made in North Carolina, so everything's made in the US. The steel is 0.10 thick, and the knife measures 1 3/4 long, 1 1/4 wide. So these parts are replaceable if need be. But I'll go into more detail on how these work. These are sold in a 4-pack. I should have said the corner clamps are sold in a 1-pack, edge guides 2-pack, the cam clamps 2-pack, and the Sidewinders in a 2-pack. The slab clamps are sold in a 4-pack, along with a 4-pack of shims to come with them. The issue that I ran into with slabs, and I don't know if anyone else has seen this, as you remove material, your slab starts to cup on you. So the slab clamp holds it down, And the nice thing about being able to secure your shim is now your shim doesn't want to walk around and stuff like that either. So I'll have some videos on this later on in this video showing how I use these. Moving on, simple toe clamp. I really like these a lot. These are also low profile. I'd say that these would safely hold down to 1.125 inches, 1.25 inches. But simple design, but really effective, especially if you're doing some platter carving and stuff like that, where your stock has a tendency to bow as you're removing that material. And then the last two clamps that I have are a compression clamp. So the before I forget, toe clamps are sold in a pack of 4 too. Compression clamps, these are also sold in a pack of 4. And then all of the hardware is 1/4 inch machine screws, so no worry about metric. But the compression clamps, simple design, butts up to your material, quick little tighten of the machine screw gives you a little bit more clamping effort. These ride on 1/4 inch steel dowels. And again, those are sold in a 4-pack. And then the last compression clamp that I have is the same idea, except you tighten down your machine screw, a little bit more clamping effort here from the toe. These are in a 4-pack, and I also include a 4-pack for corner support. So if you wanted to use a couple of these to tighten your stock down from the side and a couple from the corner, you have that option. So anyway, that being said, for everyone that's stuck around this far long, thank you for that, and I'll go into a little bit more detail on how I set these clamps up. And these clamps now are available for sale. They're on Etsy, Amazon, and then also on my website. It's www.cobra-clamps.com. So thanks, and I'll move into how these are used.